Hey everybody, Hunter Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and just a country cook, Steve Hall, here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with pretty Miss Sheila running that camera. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
You know, today we're going to make a neat little snack for the Super Bowl. And I kind of got prompted to do this by a guy named Terrence, his wife and their son. They watch all our videos up in Michigan. And he said, man, the Super Bowl is right around the corner. How come you don't have a snack for the Super Bowl? Well, I did inform him that we got some great dips and stuff already on our channel. But I wanted to do something a little different that wasn't a dip. So today we're going to make garlic and Parmesan potato wedges. Come on over, let's get started. For this recipe, I got 3 spuds here, and what I do is I try to find one that's kind of flat. You notice how it won't stand on edge like that? But we're going to put it on edge and cut it the long way to start with. And you can use any kind of potatoes you want. Just whip them into any kind of a wedge for this recipe. Then I'm going to lay them flat. Maybe make them a little smaller. But I could probably get about 3 cuts here, which would make 4 wedges out of each one of these taters. All right, that looks pretty good. Not bad, Steve. How am I doing, Sheila?
These won't last till the Super Bowl.
These won't last till the Super Bowl? Okay, she loves potatoes, so this will be a good recipe for us. I'm going to toss these over here in a big bowl, which might be a little bit off camera right now, but it'll be center, middle of the frame in just a second. Let me get these cut up and be right back with you. All right, and that's the last of the 3 of them. I'm going to put these in this bowl over here. What we're going to do now is put in some olive oil. Now I've got about 6 tablespoons of olive oil in this little cup, and you can use a little more if you want. Whatever you need to cover the potato wedges real good so that they're coated, because we want the seasoning to stick to all these little rascals. So what we're going to put for seasoning on these here is 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. Put about half of it on there. Tumble them a little bit. And then hit it with the rest of it in here. And this next little dish that I got is easy to remember because it's 1, 2, 3. 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and 3 teaspoons of paprika. I love paprika in most all the recipes that we do anymore. It's just so good for color and for flavor. Look at that. Does that look terrific, Sheila, or what?
I love the way it looks.
Uh-huh. Now it's time for the main ingredient, I should say. Well, actually, it's garlic Parmesan, so we got our garlic powder in there as well. God, that looks terrific. I know my hands look goopy, but that's great. I'm going to put in 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese for these 3 potatoes. Now, if you make a bigger batch or a smaller batch, you can put however much you need in there to cover it up. Same thing with the olive oil, same thing with any of the other ingredients. Add or subtract. Hey, it's your kitchen. You do it to where they look nice. Now let's get these laid out on our aluminum foil over here. Boy, that looks just perfect. All right, we got our cookie sheet covered with aluminum foil, but we're still going to spray that foil so they'll come off when they're done. All right, here we go. Lay these babies in here. I got to thinking, we could always cut them in half after they cook, or you can just leave them in nice long little pieces. So let's see here. All we need is just enough room in between them to where they don't touch. I want to try to get all these on here. Move them on down the line. Boy, this looks good. You're right, Sheila. These will not make the Super Bowl, will they?
Nope. I have to make some more.
I'll have to make some more. And then, of course, this will be a great recipe if you're watching the Packers Or if you're watching Alabama, right, Sheila?
Right.
Go ahead and say it.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can fudge these down a little bit and fit a couple little strips on the end here. Oh, it's just going to fight me. I only got a few more to go to get in there. You guys are just going to have to get cozy with each other. Here we go. Now, the cooking time on this is the easiest thing in the world to remember. 400 for 40. 400 degrees for 40 minutes. So we're going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees for 40 minutes and bring them back, and you'll see how delicious they look. You know, we love doing these recipes for you guys, and those potato wedges, they're in the oven for 40 minutes. But me and Sheila got to sit around and come up with something to do for 40 minutes. Why, that's bacon. And I got thinking, I'm going to give you a heads up on a little grinder that I'm going to do a review on in a future video. But right now, I want to show you something. I needed some grated Parmesan cheese for the recipe. As you see, we dumped a cup of that in there. But all I had in the refrigerator was shredded cheese. And I thought, what if I took shredded Parmesan cheese and dumped it in here? It turns right into this beautiful grated Parmesan cheese, especially if you need some for the top of some spaghetti or that kind of thing. But listen to it pick up RPMs as it gets done. Now listen, it'll start increasing. Hear it? Hear it getting faster, Sheila? And when it gets real high pitched like that, you just turn shredded Parmesan into grated Parmesan that we used in the recipe. Isn't that beautiful? I thought I'd show you that. It's a heads up on what's coming up on a future video. But in the meantime, let's get back to baking the rest of those potato wedges. Man, I wish you could smell this back from the oven. I'm moving these little potato wedges over here onto a paper towel or bed of paper towels. And they're not sticking either. They look even better on the bottom. Wowee. Now when you first pull these potato wedges off of here, make sure that you put the little buttery, oily side down on the paper towel to just pick up the rest of that so they dry up real nice and get real nice and firm on there. Let's see how they look now. Yeah, see? Perfect. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. You know, our spuds are cooling off over here on the paper towel, and I'm going to tell you about some little dipping sauces for this. One, of course, kids love ketchup, so just Hunt's ketchup straight up. I love Hunt's, good stuff. Over here, ranch dressing, and in the middle, ranch dressing. But I'm going to spice the one in the middle up a little bit. I'm going to put some of that sriracha sauce on there because I'm going to make this for Sheila. How's that, Sheila? How'd I do?
Oh, how pretty.
Little heart in there. Now, I hate to break your heart, but I got to put a little more in there. And then we're going to stir that in. Trust me. I whipped this up one time, and I use it for my deep-fried oysters that we have on our channel. And, oh, that sauce, that is so wonderful. Could even use just a little bit more. I like to say sriracha, just like I said, I like to say Worcestershire sauce, because they're both fun to say. And we'll put that in there. Could even leave a few little swirls in there if you want. Now, we got our little platter here. We're going to put these little tater wedges over here on both sides. And do you now have a recipe for the big game, whether it's the Super Bowl, Alabama, Green Bay Packers, and then the rest of them teams? But looky here. Like I said, I had a request from that guy up north, Terrence, and his family to whip something up. Well, look at these. You will love these little spuds, Terrence. Trust me. Garlic Parmesan potato wedges. Just for you and your family. All right. Does that look great or what, Sheila? How we doing? Does that look terrific? Wow, I guess I could have let them potatoes soak over here a little bit longer, but they really look terrific just the way they are. Well, of course, I have to sample one of these with my favorite sauce, which is in the middle. That is so fluffy soft in the middle and has that nice crunch on the outside from that cheese and the garlic. And oh, wow. Absolutely terrific. One more little bite. That is a great recipe. Well, there you go, Terrence. You told me I should have come up with an appetizer for the Super Bowl, but it was too close. It's never too late. I hope you enjoy this recipe. And by the way, we hope everybody enjoys this recipe and you subscribe to our channel. Your little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in just a little bit. Take your mouse and aim your pointer up there and click on his nose. And then you can subscribe. When you see the check mark on the word subscribe, right next to it, they'll have a little bell. If you click on that bell to add a couple lines, that makes it look like the bell's ring, and that way it'll ring your bell whenever we come out with a new recipe. We hope you do that. In fact, I'm going to put up another recipe over here. That's another dip kind of for the big game kind of recipe. But for right now, is this the best garlic Parmesan potato wedges you ever ate? If they ain't, they ought to be. Steve Hall here in Nashville, Tennessee, saying we'll see you next time with another recipe. Did you enjoy this, Sheila?
Yes, I did.
I know she don't like oysters. I know she doesn't like gizzards, and she don't like chicken livers and all that. But she loves these potato wedges. So we're going to turn the camera off and we'll have a little snack. See you next time. Bye-bye.